students, welcome everyone. So today let me start with your paper 4 insect vectors and diseases. In that, unit 1 introduction to insects, topic part 2 sclerites and sutures of head. So part 1 ali head, you have studied the head, types of head of the insects. There are 3 different types of heads. Okay, so this is 4.7 paper 4 insect vectors and diseases, your 4th semester zoology syllabus. So let me tell you the definition. First, what is sclerites and what are sutures? Sutures which are there in a head. Sclerites, the head capsule. I said you head is covered by a chitinous capsule. Okay, a chitinous hard covering called as capsule, and this is formed of union of number of sclerites or cuticular plates. Okay, head is having a different parts or a plates, and that is called as sclerites. Then areas which are joining together by means of cuticular lines or ridges, and you can see that there are different cuticular plates, and these plates will join by lines or ridges, and these are known as sutures. These sutures provide mechanical support to the cranial wall. Next, here you can see the frontal view of the insect head, where you can see the eyes, antenna, and these are compound eye, and then median ocellus. You can see 2 lateral ocellus and 1 middle ocellus, and then different plates you can see here. And next is lateral view of insect head. Now we'll start with sclerites of head. A general insect possesses the following sclerites. So there are namely 10 sclerites. Okay, so 9 to 10 sclerites. So we'll study each one from the first. First is labrum. It is the small sclerite that forms the upper lip of the mouth cavity. It is freely attached or suspended from the lower margin of the clypeus. Okay, so it is the smallest one, and it that forms the upper lip of the mouth cavity. Okay, so I'll show you here. Okay, labrum. I think it is not there in this. Here, this one is a labrum. Okay, then, and the next second sclerite is clypeus. It is situated above the labrum and is divided into anterior anticlypeus and posterior postclypeus. Okay, clypeus, it is situated above the labrum and is divided into anterior and posterior parts. Okay, then frons. It is the facial part of the insects consisting of median ocellus. Then comes vertex. It is the top portion of the head behind the frons, or the area between the 2 compound eyes. Next comes epicranium. It is the part of the head extending from vertex to occipital suture. Next, the 6th sclerites of the head is occiput. It is an inverted U-shaped structure representing the area between the epicranium and post-occiput. Next comes the post-occiput sclerite. It is the extreme posterior part of the insect head that remains before the neck region. Okay, it comes before the neck region, or I can say it remains in between the head and the abdomen. Next, 8th part is jena. It is the area extending from below the compound eyes to just above the mandibles. Ocular sclerites. These are cuticular ring-like structures present around each compound eyes. Next comes antennal sclerites. These forms the basis for the antenna and present around the scape, which are well developed in Plecoptera, that is stone files anta kariತೀವಿ. These are basis for the antenna. ಇದು antenna represent ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ. Okay, here you can see the different sclerites. Ocular suture, this one sclepius, this is labrum, and this is sclepius, and this is gaina, this is frons. Okay, these are the different sclerites. Next, all the above sclerites, they get attached through cuticular ridges or sutures to provide the attachment for the muscles inside. Okay, so those attachment of the sclerites is due to sutures. We'll see the different sutures of the head. So we can represent the insect. Common sutures present in the head are clypeolabral suture. It is the suture present between clypeus and labrum. It remains in the lower margin of the clypeus, from which the labrum hangs down. So clypeofrontal suture or epistomal suture. This is the suture present between clypeus and frons. Next is epicranial suture. It is an inverted Y-shaped suture distributed above the facial region, extending up to the epicranial part. Okay, the epicranial part, ಮೇಲ್ಗಡೆ cranium part ತನಕ ಇದಾಗುತ್ತೆ of the head. Okay, it consists of two arms. First is frontal suture. It occupies frons and the stem. ಇದು ಫ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ ರೀಜನಲ್ಲಿ ಮತ್ತು ಸ್ಟೆಮ್ ರೀಜನಲ್ಲಿ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಅದನ್ನು ಕೊರೋನಲ್ suture ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್, this epicranial suture is also known as line of weakness or ecdysial suture because the exovial membrane splits along the suture during the process of ecdysis. Ecdysis ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ it is the removal of the upper skeletal structure. Okay, and the next fourth suture, occipital suture. It is U-shaped or horseshoe-shaped suture between epicranium and occiput. Post-occipital suture, it is the only real suture. It in insects. Okay, ಇದೊಂದು real suture ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ. Posterior end of the head is marked by the post-occipital suture to which the sclerites are attached. As this suture separates the head from the neck, okay, ಇದು ಹೆಡ್ನ ನೆಕ್ಕಿಗೆ ಡಿವೈಡ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಆಸ್ post occipital suture, hence the name as real suture. Next is gainal suture. It is the suture present on the lateral side of the head, that is gaina. Okay, next ocular suture. It is the circular suture present around the each compound eye. ಇದು ಕಾಂಪೌಂಡ್ ಐ ಪಕ್ಕ ಇರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಇದನ್ನು ಆಕ್ಯುಲರ್ suture ಅಂತ ಕರೀತಾರೆ. Okay, then is antennal suture. It is the marginal depressed ring around the antennal sockets. ಇದು ಆಂಟೆನಾ ಕಡೆ ಇರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಇದನ್ನು antennal suture ಅಂತ ಕರೀತಾರೆ. Okay, here you can see the different sutures in the lateral, frontal ಮತ್ತು lateral view of head ಐತೆ. Here you can see. Okay, anterior tentorial suture. Okay, different types of suture. Front occipital suture na ನೋಡ್ಬೋದು. Okay, ocular suture is also present. This is the lateral view. So these are the different sclerites and sutures of the insect head. So you can go through this in detail. Okay, with this I'll be stopping today's class. So thank you, students.